Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaskar and Sat Sri Akal from the land of the Punjab, from Amritsar and Chandigarh. This is the last episode, episode 36 of this year's season of the Diversey BW Hotelier GM show. And what a better way to end it. We do this show from Amritsar along with Chandigarh. While I have great stars on the show, we have a very special topic as well. Innovative approaches navigating operational challenges in Punjab and Chandigarh. Let me bring in my partner to the show, Diversey. Before I begin with an introduction to all the general managers who grace the platform today, there will be no Thursday, Friday after this. We'll be closing the year. Wish you all a very happy new year. And we'll come back with the next season, the next year. Let me now bring in the first star of the show, Jitendra Pal Singh Sohal. He's the Area General Manager, North India of the Radisson Hotel Group and the General Manager, Radisson Blue Hotel and Park in Amritsar. Welcome to the show, JP.
Hi, Bhuvnesh. I think, thank you very much, Sat Sri Akal. But
switch on your camera,
video,
JP.
No. I have switched it on. I think it's in control from your end. That's what it is showing me. I cannot start. So now I can start because I've been
all right.
properly permitted.
Apologies, JP.
Yeah, it's absolutely fine. These things do happen. Sat Sri Akal, and from the beautiful city of Golden Temple. And thank you very much for having me on the show once again. It's always been a pleasure to talk to you and the other speakers. And I think I look forward to learn something new from all of them today. So thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you, JP. Next in is KP Singh. He's the General Manager of the Le Méridien Amritsar. Welcome to the show, KP.
Sat Sri Akal, everyone.
Sat Sri Akal ji.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be part of this platform. And I look forward to fruitful conversations this evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, KP. Next in is Naveen Yadav, who's the General Manager of the Hyatt Regency in Amritsar.
Hi, Sat Sri Akal, everyone. And thank you, Mr. Khanna and the BW Hotelier team for having me on the show.
Sat Sri Akal ji, Naveen.
And I look forward to our discussions over the next 1.5 hours.
Such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Next in is Puneet Sharma, who's the General Manager of the Holiday Inn, Ranjit Avenue in Amritsar. Welcome to the show, Puneet.
Sat Sri Akal from the city of Golden Temple. And thank you very much for bringing me to this forte and to be with all the leaders over there.
Sat Sri Akal ji, Puneet. Welcome to the show. Next in is a very senior hotelier, and he comes in from Chandigarh, Ashwini Kumar, who's the General Manager of the Hyatt Regency in Chandigarh. Welcome to the show, Ashwini.
Thank you very much, Bhuvnesh, for organizing this and giving us the opportunity to share our views and learn from the other distinguished panel there.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to some
such a pleasure, sir.
Thank you.
Next in is Kshitij. Kshitij Java is the General Manager of the Radisson Red in Chandigarh, Mohali. Welcome to the show, Kshitij.
Thank you, Bhuvnesh. Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity, and I'm really excited to be on the show and interact with all my colleagues from the industry and see where it takes Punjab in 2024. Thank you.
So good show, great panel. Let me begin with a brief introduction to the show for this edition, the last episode. as we delve into the heart of northern India, exploring the operational intricacies of luxury hotels in the dynamic landscape of Punjab and the Union Territory of Chandigarh. As the seat of governance, a culinary haven, and a cultural magnet, this region presents both challenges and opportunities for general managers steering the course of luxury hospitality. Thank you all. Let me begin by rolling the dice to my good friend JP. JP, if I may, with your permission, begin with my first question with you.
Welcome.
All right, and set the context for the show.
Sure.
JP, tell me, MICE, MICE marvels the potential and challenges in hosting MICE in this vibrant territory, right? Especially Amritsar. Amritsar is already a huge draw, given the sacred and holy Harmandir Sahib, which we also call the Golden Temple. This city has reinvented itself over the past decade, if I may say so, right? It's also in all manners the gateway to India now, and has so much to offer. If you can share your views.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for that, Bhuvnesh. Like you said, gateway to India. I think if I pick up a chapter from Punjab tourism, it says India begins here. That's one of the taglines for the Punjab tourism. So I think it's pretty much true in more than one way, in a lot of sense. But before I really come on to give my opinion on what your question was just, I just want to give you a little brief about Amritsar because I've had the distinction of being here for the past 13 years in the city, and I have seen the city grow. And when we opened the hotel, Radisson Blu was the only international branded hotel at that point in time, and which is now Hyatt, where Naveen is sitting. We used to be an Easta. And, this particular hotel opened with a massive banqueting facility at that point in time, and there was literally no banqueting or no MICE existing in this particular city whatsoever. So it was certainly a challenge. I think for us, it was not about marketing the hotel or the product. I think it was important for us to market the city. That is something which was important for us. And I think over the years, if I'm not exaggerating in what I am saying, that from literally about 1% of business in the city being MICE, today that has grown by approximately 250% over the past 13 years. And that is, again, like, what are the basic things that you need? You need infrastructure. So obviously, with the advent of new hotels and new brands, the infrastructure has kind of come up, which not only gives options to people, but at the same time, it actually brings in a certain degree of induced demand as well. So I think that fair share has been seen by Amritsar. It continues to grow in that direction. But yes, are there challenges? Yes, of course, there are challenges. But if you look at the market today, the MICE in India is about 37,000 crores kind of a market in India itself. I'm not talking about Punjab in specific. And that's all B2B. That's what we are paying. And out of this, approximately 5,000 crores is coming only from space rental. And that is, again, a part of B2B. So we understand what is the magic of this number. Now, what are the challenges that one faces in Amritsar from the MICE standpoint? Number one, connectivity. Although there is an international airport here, but then connectivity from different parts of the country in terms of direct flights is a big challenge. And that is what becomes a deterrent, because, if you have to collect, say, for example, if Pfizer is doing a particular meet for all the divisions, they have to get people from different parts of the country, and if they have to keep, jumping flights and from one place to another, it becomes very challenging. So logistic is one reason why some people would actually not want to come to Amritsar, and they'll go to a place which is easily connecting. So that's one big challenge. Number two, when we talk about world-class delivery in terms of, say, audio visuals, or in terms of the high-end, conferences where you need virtual, you need internet, you need, very high bandwidth and so on and so forth, that also becomes challenging because infrastructure in the particular city, if we talk about state, of course, Chandigarh is something which has a better infrastructure, but Amritsar per se doesn't have that infrastructure. Now, just to kind of substantiate the point that I'm trying to make in terms of that why we don't have right vendors. I remember doing the Heart of Asia conference here in my hotel in 2016, which was hosted by Prime Minister Modi for the President of Afghanistan. It was a huge event for 5 days with foreign ministers of 45 countries being here. we could not, nobody could provide that services. So, Wizcraft had to be brought in to do everything into the city, which is not possible for every, kind of MICE or a corporate to bring that. Similarly, very recently in the month of March, we hosted all the G20s in Amritsar in our hotel. Similar issue. They had to have Koni or Sita or somebody come from outside and do the entire audio-visual and other ancillary stuff that is required. So that is another challenge which is there in cities like Amritsar, that you don't have those kind of service providers which are like one-stop shop for you to really give what is required. So those are the prime challenges: logistics, connectivity, and the kind of good vendors who can actually give you that particular option. And last but not least, over the years, I think the MICE space has changed because it's getting a little bit more customized. It is not just about, getting up from one place, getting into a room, and have your conference for 2 days and pack off. No, I think lots of people have now started traveling with families. They bring in their wives and children and they have to do something. Now, Amritsar, per se, I think probably it has the distinction of being the only city in this country where you have spiritualism at its peak. Whether you talk about the Hindu faith of religion, you talk about the Sikh faith of religion, it's like they're right up there. Then this is a culinary delight in terms of street food, and I think we all know that Amritsar is known for it. So culture is there, food is there, spiritualism is there, and of course, Wagah border being there is a patriotism. So, you have all those angles together, but unfortunately, they are not very well showcased from the government standpoint. When I say government, in the sense that Punjab government needs to do something and take advantage of these things to bring in more, because this is the experience. It's becoming more and more customized. You have to give that spiritual experience. You have to give that, people want to visit Wagah border. Now, if there's a group that is coming and you don't facilitate the Wagah border for them, and they are left on their own devices to go and manage, that's not they don't want to have that headache on them. So I think in nutshell, that's what it is. So infrastructure, good vendors, advertising the place properly by the government, and facilitating places like, if you want to go to Wagah border or something, it should be easy for people rather than, getting into the bureaucratic rut and, not getting what they want to do. So those are my 2 cents on it, Bhuvnesh.
Yeah, the more than 2 cents, you put it all very aptly. The government has to play this entire piece like an orchestra in a concerted manner. The point is, each one of them plays, but they play at different times and different tunes.
Yeah, very true. Exactly.
Unfortunately, that doesn't bode well for the state and the city.
Yeah.
There are very few parallels to Amritsar.
Exactly.
Why you just explained. So Let me pick one of them out of this and walk across to KP. JP just briefly in the passing mentioned about food. Food is very central to the human race, more so to we Punjabis.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
the Punjabis, Punjab and Amritsar.
Yeah.
Right. So why don't you speak to us about this culinary charisma, the role of the local cuisine as a draw and challenge, integrating regional flavors into luxury offerings. For instance, I was with a friend of mine who just stayed in Amritsar, and he says, the chur, he was talking to me about chur naan. So I said, what about that? He says, I especially went to Amritsar for chur naan. And I had 7 or 8 outlets, including the hotel where I was staying. Right. And all that I wanted to do was chicken and chur naan. So tell us a bit about this. That's a huge magnet, by the way.
It is, indeed. So Bhuvnesh, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And I would like to draw a little bit of background for the brand I work for. The Le Méridien brand is all about exploring the destination. So purposely, I had dwelled into the 2 topics which I wanted to elaborate a bit. And the team itself, before opening up the hotel, our hotel just opened about 6 months ago. We opened on 14th of July and going well. So one of the core components on which this brand works, there are 3. One is culture, one is cuisine, one is coordinates. So when it comes to cuisine part, there are certain basics we need to get very right. One of the point is the influence of the local cuisine in your hotel. It's a basic expectation for travelers who are coming to this destination to get flavors of the city itself. A bit of work what we did as a hotel, as a team, we spent good about 4 to 5 months knowing every single eatery around Golden Temple and about 2 kilometers radius of Golden Temple. Now, our take on this one is tastes which are local and authentic. You can never replicate them. That's why they're authentic. However, you can go very close to them. Considering a 2-day stay in the hotel, we as a hotel team try to give those experiences in-house. At the same time, we also go about propagating different eateries the guests should visit. Anytime, like you said, and sometime sooner you would be visiting Amritsar. So we have a very popular menu which is called Amritsar Di Galiyan. So this menu was actually built up by the chefs and the service team along with certain other team members, where we have looked into vegetarian and popular non-vegetarian dishes and try to bring the taste very close. Like I said, these are 100 years, 80 years old institutions. You can't replicate that. So we try to be simple, we try to be authentic, and we try to give this taste. So it's very important to focus on the local offerings in the location where you're operating.
All right. The heritage corridor that has been done for Amritsar.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right. That in itself has now become another marvel for Amritsar.
Indeed.
And if I was a guest who was coming to Amritsar, if I've seen it once, I'll keep coming back for that.
Absolutely.
It does so much to you. Tell me, does that in any way help support your business?
Absolutely. See, like you said, we are the local connoisseurs of cuisine for our guests who are going to stay in the hotel. Of course, we encourage guests to try out the delicacies, whatever chef make. Simultaneously, we have connect with all the popular eateries. So how we curate is we would go to the extent of calling up those eateries and informing them. We have certain guests coming certain hour of the day. This is what we had tried at your particular place. So please go ahead and ensure that the experience goes similar way what we had. So we have to be part of the local community, and we have to drive the work along with the local stakeholders. So as much as they grow, it replicates for us, and that's how we, as a brand, or as a hotel, or as a team, we grow. Now there are certain draws. These are some of the draws which brings in people for local cuisine, but there are challenges to itself as well. And I personally was born in Amritsar, and I have relatives living in Amritsar. They have grown up with the food. What is the street food? Like JP also earlier mentioned, there are a lot of local eateries. There's a very specific mindset as to how a satpura should be, how this specific dessert, which is called khajur, which comes in month of January and February, which is made up over there. And I had the opportunity to engage with a lot of local people and to bring it to the hotel and get their input when we were developing our menus. So this helps a lot also to propagate what the brand is doing, what the hotel is doing, and the culinary offerings. Simultaneously, it's a very subjective process as well, but you are unable to make everyone happy as well. So it's part and parcel of the game. And unless we positively, as a team, are able to take the feedback and keep on developing ourselves, that's what we look forward to. And that's how we are developing the culinary chapter for this hotel in Amritsar.
I somehow missed out this khajur in Amritsar. I've heard so much. I couldn't really relate it from the date that we know, so I have to figure this khajur out. My next trip, JP, I'm going to figure the khajur out.
Please do.
Okay. All right. So let me just, JP and we spoke about the government doing things in a concerted manner as a symphony. So let me pick on the mind of Naveen. Naveen, let's talk about operational symphony. And if you can help me analyze the operational challenges specific to luxury hotels, ranging from maintenance to staffing and revenue management, more so in the context of Amritsar and Punjab.
Thank you, Mr. Khanna. In the luxury hotel segment, we keep saying that, we have to offer distinctive experiences to our guests, right? And I think if we go about the operational challenges that we have, I think the operational challenges that we face are also very distinctive, right? I mean, primarily because of the attention to detail, the premium experience that is expected out of us. And I think to begin with, the biggest challenge that we face right now is staffing. I think all general managers on this call and I think everybody I speak to across the country who's managing a hotel right now, the one common thing that comes out every time we speak is the lack of skilled manpower. I think, and I think that's constant across the country right now. Ours is a very, very labor intensive industry. How much ever technology we get in, and most of the brands nowadays are working a lot with the modern technologies, but at the end of the day we need boots on the ground to make sure that the services are delivered the way they have to be, on time, every time, and the experience reaches the guest. So boots on the ground is what we need. But more importantly, those boots on the ground have to be trained. They have to be trained. They have to be retrained again and again. Skills have to be redone. Unfortunately, the attrition is so high right now in our industry that we are literally almost always in a hiring spree or hiring mode. I mean, I have been in a hiring mode for the last 6 months. You hire 10 associates. By the time they get onboarded, by the time they have their first 3 months and they get to know the hotel, maybe half the number have left and moved on to bigger cities or other hotels. So and because of this attrition,
that is a challenge.
Yeah, and because of this attrition, our training plans also don't come to fruition. Whatever trainings we want to impart, even if, I believe that our industry really is an industry where we can really be part of the community, get the local people involved. We are really a labor-intensive industry, so we can really generate a lot of employment as well, right? But unfortunately, all those things are not coming to fruition right now, especially in the part of Amritsar, in this city. People move out to larger cities, within 3 to 6 months of experience, right? So that's a big challenge right now. But it's also important that we realize that the values and aspirations of this generation is different from when we started working, or from what our expectations were. And I think as an industry, we need to really, it's not an easy fix. We need to go back to the board, to the drawing board again, and then relook at how we make it a lucrative career for the youngsters to come in. I was speaking to a couple of people last week in Bombay, where I did my graduation from. I am a pass out of the other catering college, and I was speaking to some professors in my college, and they were mentioning that there are some IHMs in the country right now who have not been able to fill their seats. I have not seen that happen in IHMs for a long time. So, it's a worrying sign, to be honest. And I think as an industry, we need to see how we can make this a very, very lucrative career for the youngsters. And it is a rewarding career, to be honest with you. I've been in this industry for almost 17 years. It is definitely a very rewarding career. But I think we just need to repackage it for the youngsters, right? So I think that is one for sure. Secondly, I would say is maintenance. Our hotels run 24/7, 365 days a year. There is no downtime for us that we can shut down operations, or then we can take a week, 10 days or 2 weeks to maintain our equipment or machinery and everything. So that is definitely a key challenge. It's also a very capital intensive exercise. You need a lot of money to be kept aside for that. And like the human body, as the building gets older, the expense on the repair and maintenance only increases, right? So I think that is another very, very key challenge. And you have to do all this repair and maintenance, but all the while making sure that the guests do not face any inconvenience. All services are operational, all your machinery and equipment is operational 24/7. And also keeping in mind the safety of our associates and the safety of our guests. That is also very, very important and paramount to all brands or all hotels that are there. So I think, the upkeep, we all know that there is a direct relation between the upkeep and aesthetics of a hotel and, guest satisfaction. So I think what we really need to make sure, and our hotel especially has been operational for almost 15 years now. So I think there is nobody here who understands this more than me right now, that, how challenging it can be to run high occupancies that like Amritsar is running right now, and still make sure that everything is operational every time that a guest expects something from us. I think to just sum it up, I think, I would say that what this really needs is meticulous planning, because there are multiple departments who will get involved. It definitely needs a lot of financial planning because it's a big expense, and it also needs a long-term plan. You because if you really want to mitigate the operational exigencies that might come out of repair and maintenance, you really need to be looking 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 years ahead to make sure that you have the right plan in place. And I think that's about it.
Naveen, you really packaged your response so well. I just hope people are watching keenly what JP, KP, and you have just said. We guys are actually the brand ambassadors for our industry, not just for our brands and for our hotels. Your worry has been my worry. Where is the talent going to come from? Why will people opt for this industry? Are we making a good case for this industry? We better make a good case for this industry, because this is a damn good industry. This is a brilliant career. Like I keep saying day in and day out, where else will somebody at your level handle VIPs, stars, and heads of states, right? You guys are skippers of large seagoing vessels, right? You have to sell them. You had hundreds and thousands and crores worth of investments. Right.
And as I keep saying, Mr. Khanna, I think one of the very few industries where you can start at the grassroots level and reach the pinnacles of the industry.
Oh, absolutely. Goes without saying. Yeah, thanks a pile, Naveen. That was a great response, by the way.
Thank you.
Puneet, let me come across to you now. Taking from what Naveen has just said, balancing act in any industry or any job is a must, more so here today. Why don't you help me explore the delicate balance required for general managers in delivering top-notch services while maintaining financial sustainability and stability?
So, Mr. Khanna, like Mr. Sohel and Naveen has already told you about the entire Amritsar story and the history behind Amritsar and obviously the challenges. And I do agree with both of them. These are the similar challenges which I agree to them. Second, when we come to the top-notch services, so that is not a choice now. It is basically a basic requirement which any of the guest requires. And if we see, like what Mr. Sohal has said, that they were the first one, then Easta became Hyatt, we were the third one in air. Now you name a brand and it is there in Amritsar. So it is not only just because of the product, it is because of the product and the service. And we see that it is a mix of product and services. And the owners are investing now. So you see a brand, you name any brand, be it Indian brands, be it any international brands, everybody is there in the city. And for a general manager to give a top-notch service is just a first thing on his KRA. Giving the financial substantiality. Obviously, we started long time back when we started with the saving our water reserve, like putting up the comfort in the bathroom showers, comfort savers in the bathroom showers and the wash basins. Then we switched on to the plastic, not using of any single use plastic. Then bulk amenities came. So everything came step by step. So everything never came all in a one single go. So introducing the bulk amenities, getting rid of the straws, getting rid of the cutleries. So these small steps, definitely they were not a very huge financial this thing, but they obviously helped us in getting the things done. Then comes down the new one which coming up is your transportation, like the EV vehicles. So next time coming, you see all the hotels are now having the EV stations in their hotels. They are now getting rid of the diesel vehicles and getting the new EV vehicles in the hotel fleet. So which obviously this is the time when we have to give it back to the community along with the financial sustainability. This is what is my take from.
Thank you, Puneet. Very interesting. It's time for me to now drive the single lane off to Chandigarh from Amritsar before I come back in the next half and go to somebody who's a very senior hotelier, who's got years behind him. And I'd like to pick on the mind of Mr. Ashwini Kumar and talk about the city of gardens. Ashwini, if you can help us understand the allure of Chandigarh, the city beautiful with its green landscapes and urban design. There's more to it than just being the joint capital of Punjab and Amritsar, or the hub of medical tourism and educational tourism, or perhaps the fact that it is also the gateway to Himachal.
True. So as we all know that the city beautiful was one of the planned city of India when it was conceived by Pandit Nehru way back in 1950. And the architect which was hired was from the US, Alan Murray, and his Polish partner. So he conceived a special design of the city, which was based on those models, the bricks and so on. His partner died in the plane accident, and then our French-Swiss Le Corbusier was engaged, who kept the same spirit of the original design. And that's how the city was made. It was very different. The design, the way it was segregated by the sectors, the whole spirit of the city was put in every place or every monument which they were building. It was reflecting something of the city. So it was the body and the soul and the spirit, what it has to offer. And it's open to give, open to receive that emblem which we have of the city beautiful. In terms of the landscaping of the city, the Le Corbusier team did that part, but we had a very distinguished administrator, M.S. Randhawa. You must have heard his name, Dr. Randhawa. He was the man behind all this greenery and the trees which have been put. And if you look at each sector has a different kind of a trees. It's not all the same. There is at least more than 100 trees which are now called heritage tree. They are numbered, nobody can cut, nobody can do anything. And then the tree goes back from 100 to 250 years old. So which is something very, very unique. And it has become a heritage. And the BBC said in their 2015 report that this is one of the monumental city which is cultural and commercial is very, very successful. So that was the beautiful city which was missing. But unfortunately, what I have seen, I've studied here long back. This was a place where we had only roundabouts. There was no traffic lights, and people were easily moving and managing everything. And now when you look at the city, the population has grown, we have traffic lights, and there's a lot of things which are missing. And unfortunately, on the name of heritage, we are not doing what we should be doing to keep the city alive or to keep the city going, like Bombay has done. Bombay has so much heritage from Portuguese or the British time, but they have managed that part and they have built the city also. But here in Chandigarh, in the name of heritage, everything stops. Just to give an example of, we need now a metro here. And you read, 2 people will agree, 3 will not agree, 4 will not agree. And those who are not agreeing, they don't even use metro. So that comes.
But actually, Chandigarh is a huge draw. People actually, Chandigarh allures people to come there, no?
Absolutely. But what is stopping them, that is also we have to see.
True.
So you have a good PGI, still people will come to PGIs there. So we have a successful model, as you said before. Education, you have one of the best colleges here where Punjab, Haryana, Himachal and J&K people comes. So
True.
what we need here is a good international convention center.
True.
If you have a convention center, we have a model of hospitals and education. So all these people will come here. So if you got that, you have to build a couple of hotels around that, and the city will have everything what you need. Second, the airport, my colleague earlier said about the Amritsar, we had one direct flight. They made it an international airport, but there was one flight and they stopped that also, which was going to Dubai. So there's no international flight. So if you open 2 flights to Birmingham, 2 flights to Canada, 2 to Australia, where most of the Punjabi community lives, this city will gain so much. It will allure so many people and it will help everybody. But unfortunately, this is a big problem that we are.
Why should people have to fly out of Delhi and fly into Delhi when they're in Punjab?
It takes so many hours.
It's a basic, I never saw a Chandigarh opportunity from the angle that you suggested.
Yes.
Make an international airport over here. And
it is already made international. It's called Bhagat Singh International Airport, but not a single flight.
Not a single.
The one they stopped it.
So that's a huge opportunity lost.
Absolutely. So this convention center, we need this city to breathe again.
Yes.
There's nothing much happening. We have an IT park, Rajiv Gandhi IT park. Half is empty because their do's and do nots are so strong, the people cannot sustain. They're moving to Mohali. Half of the IT park is empty.
Oh God. And imagine Chandigarh.
This is the reality. So that's very unfortunate.
That's an opportunity wasted.
Absolutely.
So I hope somebody wakes up to this.
I hope I raise this wherever I got the opportunity, and I'm still trying. Only 2 things if they do, couple of flights where all the Punjabis are living in America, Canada, and UK and Australia, and the convention center, which everybody will do. You need a convention center which can accommodate 7,000 to 8,000 people. We don't have it. So where are you going to get the big MICE business and conventions? There's no hotel who can take more than 500 people for a wedding here, Sindhu. Not a single hotel.
Pity. Thank you, Ashwini. Thank you so much. Your input is valuable, but it's also worrying that we are actually missing such a big, huge opportunity.
Yeah.
All right. So you got a world-class, ladies and gentlemen, Chandigarh is a world-class city, absolutely planned. And this architect is a genius who also actually designed Islamabad in Pakistan. So if you've been to Islamabad and you've been to Chandigarh, you will see they are twins separated by a border. All right. So let me now come to you, Kshitij. Kshitij, you are a co-mate of Chandigarh. So let me pick your mind on this. If we were to talk about being the pinnacle of hospitality, help us unveil the distinctive aspects that make Punjab and Chandigarh the epitome of luxury hospitality.
Thank you, Bhuvnesh. I'll probably take from Mr. Ashwini Kumar. I second all his thoughts on how the city is and how we can take it forward. Of course, Chandigarh is a pinnacle of hospitality, and Punjab and Chandigarh as destinations. Bhuvnesh, they are not just destinations. We are curating experiences. They are an experience for a guest. You say it a culinary experience. It's a cultural extravaganza. It is a blend of tradition and modernity. I would give you a slight example of the hotel which I operate in, which is the Radisson Red Chandigarh Mohali. Though it is situated in Mohali, but everyone has to pass my hotel because when you land at the airport, the first hotel is me, and then you enter into Chandigarh. The Tri-City has fantastically come up in the last 5 to 6 years, especially after COVID. We have seen very different trends, and if we look at the city, when I was opening this hotel, it was Omicron, and we were absolutely clueless that what is it going to be. And with God's grace and people's love, the hotel has actually gained a lot of popularity. Hotel has actually been liked by our guests. And it's a mixture of people. So luxury, I would not say, is only a BMW or a Rolls Royce. Luxury is a mindset. And that is what we try to sell at our hotel and we try to offer to our guests. And similarly, luxury is, and we have an offering of luxury to every aspect and every person who wants to travel to the Tri-City. So if you go to a weBBlast, it is going to be one luxury aspect for people. Hyatt Regency, JW offer another luxury aspect. I would probably offer, me and Hyatt Centric would probably offering a separate luxury, because everyone has their own definition of luxury. So Tri-City, and not only Tri-City, I would say the Punjab in itself. So I would like to mention about the Punjab Travel Mart, which happened recently, and the Chief Minister Shri Bhagwant Mann addressed everyone, and that the people who attended that Travel Mart would be able to loudly tell everyone across the globe that there is so much which we have to offer when it comes to a culinary excellence, because it is not only about sarson ka saag and makki di roti. When it is about a cultural extravaganza, there are so many things which we do in the deeper parts of Punjab, wherein whether it is Chandigarh or it could be Amritsar, could be a base, and you could travel and experience all those activities in Punjab itself. And of course, a lot of our Punjabis are settled in Canada, US. So it is a blend of traditional ethos as well as modernity, which we have got into us, because approximately 40 to 50% of our guests would be NRIs. They come back, they want to come back home, but they want atmosphere which is of Punjab. So in summary, I would say Punjab and Chandigarh, it's the perfect blend for warm hospitality, culinary delights, and seamless integration of tradition and modernity. And it's a beautiful place where state government and central government should pay more attention. I saw some light coming through in the Punjab Travel Mart, that they are thinking of how to promote tourism, but I still feel that this area is pretty much untapped, and there's a lot of potential still to come.
Kshitij, I don't even know if our governments are at all serious about travel, tourism, and hospitality, right? All that they do is lip service and talk.
I agree to a point, right, to an extent.
So I think the industry has seen through them and has learned to lean on their own efforts, right? Or via industry bodies. So jo mil gaya sarkar se, so mil gaya, right? Kismat hai. Nahi to we have to go on our own, and let us get real. I see very little.
No, but Bhuvnesh, you know what? I would
improvement, especially at the state level.
No, I agree. But, I will second the thought of Naveen when Naveen mentioned that how we are losing people and how people are not coming. So I have been in the city for the last 3 years, and I've also done my hotel management from the same city. In our time, the hotel management colleges didn't have seats available. Today, recently, I went for a lecture to IHM Chandigarh, and the principal over there sat me down for a cup of coffee, and he said, you know what, I'm very worried about my 2023 and 2024 batch. So 2023 is not filled, and 2024 people are not applying. It is something which you rightly said,
very worrying and very depressing.
And that is something wherein everyone, starting from top, and this is the cream top of hospitality I'm talking about, should think about it, that are we paying people right? Are we doing right things for the people that they are attracting?
It's not just about payment. It's not just about payment. It's how do you showcase the industry?
Exactly.
Right? We have to showcase the industry. And that is why I'm saying the show will be watched by a lot of aspirants for a career in hospitality. And the ones who are already in hospitality, they should not think twice. Right?
Absolutely.
Now the pipelines of development are so huge that the opportunities are going to be immense. I mean, look at this talent. Look at JP, look at KP, look at Naveen, look at you, look at Ashwini ji and Puneet. If I was to start asking you how many people who run your hotels, what is the value of your hotel, and what is the revenue that you generate, damn it, you can't get that job opportunity in any other industry.
That's true. That's true.
Right? You rub shoulders with the best, with the very best, with stars, with cricketers, with politicians, with heads of state. Arey, kaun tumhare ko itna mauka deta hai? Chalo, at this point, I'll take a break. I'm not a
Thank you.
hotelier, but I am somebody who's almost a hotelier by default. And I have to put my best foot forward for the cause of this industry. I'll take a short 15-second break and turn back to you. Thank you, Diversey. JP, I'm coming back to you for my second question for you. Tell me, the big fat Indian wedding is as intrinsic to our Punjabiyat and our Indian culture than they are for the hospitality industry and for the health of the state, for direct and indirect revenue opportunities. If you can tell me the challenges and the grandeur of hosting opulent Indian weddings in Punjab, especially Amritsar. Look, if you're getting married, go get married in Amritsar and soak in the blessings at Harmandir Sahib, right? Go to the Durgiana temple. What better?
Yeah, sure, Bhuvnesh. See, again, I will just like to bring in a few elements before I really talk about what's really happening with the big fat Indian weddings and what is happening to. And I probably pretty much it would be very similar to the other places in Punjab as well, since I do look after that territory myself. There are a couple of things that I would like to say. Of course, if you look at Amritsar per se, I'm just going to take that a couple of seconds on this. Amritsar, like I earlier said, there are a lot of things which are common between what are the challenges and good things about my step, very similar to what happens on the wedding front as well, where mostly on the destination wedding front, if I may put it in that particular manner. So again, this particular city, when we started, as I said, there were hardly any destination weddings happening. It used to be only local weddings, and that too, if you look at the freestanding banquets, they have been posing challenge, and that challenge is actually becoming bigger by the day. And the kind of places that they open and operate, I don't think hoteliers can even come close to them. And last but not least, they have, that's the core business, where they don't really run those places like a hotel does in terms of its P&L and so on and so forth. So it becomes very challenging. The kind of culinary offerings and the kind of number of dishes, XYZ that they offer, hotels cannot offer. So if the hotels have to go behind this particular market of these huge big fat Indian weddings, and I think hoteliers per se, hotel companies per se have to think very differently. The conventional wisdom of handling these weddings are not going to work anymore. You have to actually start looking at big weddings as a separate vertical in the hotel industry to really milk that and be a competition to people who are, kind of setting out outside freestanding banquet facilities, which are far superior. That's number one. Definitely, yes. With the advent of so many hotels opening up, so many brands, I think probably this is going to be one city which is probably very, very small, and it's going to have every international brand in this particular city in the next 5 years. And probably I don't think any small city would have that distinction in a good or a bad way. I don't know, but it is going to be the case because every single brand is going to have. If I just simply put things into perspective, KP is working for Marriott. Now they already have a Le Méridien. There's a Marriott Courtyard. There's a Fairfield, and there is an opening of 4 Points by Sheraton. They're opening a Sheraton plus one more hotel is an offering. So you can have 7 hotels of Marriott already here. If you look at my own group, RHG, we have a Park-In by Radisson. We already have a Radisson Blue. We are opening up Park Plaza. We are opening a Radisson Red. We are opening a Radisson here. We are opening a Park-In by Suites. We are opening a Radisson Suites. We are opening so many hotels here in Amritsar. So I think it's going to be flooded with choices for people here. All the more reason why, again, I'm coming back to what some of my colleagues have spoken. And I think we did see a little bit of that spark during Punjab Tourism Summit in March. that the government needs to put in efforts in a big way, because this place can become a destination hub. And like Ashwani did say some time back, this is another city which today desperately needs a convention center. And it is there in the government documents I have seen. I've been a part of the FICCI and the CII chapter representing this part of the country with them on the tourism front. And I know it is a part. It is there, very much available, but then it hasn't seen the light of the day as yet. When would it reach its fruition? My guess would be as good as yours. Now, what is the thing that is changing? When we talk about the millennials, whenever we find ourselves in that particular generation to a certain degree, I think for us, it was a good hotel, good food, good booze, if you talk about Punjab, and a good decoration. We are fine. We have fun. But now, whether it is workforce, like some of our colleagues just spoke about, or we are talking about the next generation, which is getting married, Gen X. Their requirements are very different than what were there earlier from the millennials. Now, they are talking about a very strong value proposition. I'm not talking about in terms of whether they want to spend less money or more money, but whatever money they want to spend, they want to see a value. That's number one. All of these new weddings that are going to be happening, they're all going to be experience-based. It's not just going to be, there is a site, do a function by poolside, do a function by XYZ, and that's the end of it. So I think experience-driven weddings are something which are going to be the wave as we move forward. We need to transfer and we need to make sure that the catchment markets, when I say catchment markets, I'm talking about inbound. Like, for example, like you said, Darbasa is something which is very, very important. They call Amritsar is known as Sifti da Kar. If that is, if I would like to, very, very pious in its all sense. Government is not doing enough. Now, again, when I say government is not doing enough, how many people across, I don't know if all of you know, great, but I doubt if somebody would know that also. How many people know, apart from, yes, Golden Temple being there, the 7th largest, most visited place in the world, is documented in, every possible record books for that matter. Love Kush was born here in the city. How many people know that? Hardly any people know. The place where Ashwatthama Yagya happened, it happened here. People don't know about that. Hanuman was tied to a tree. People don't know about that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. This is where Love Kush was born.
I know Love. Lahore is named after Love and Kasur is named after Kush, but I didn't know they were born here.
Yeah, they were born here, and there is a huge mandir which is called Ram Tirath, and people don't know about it.
No, we're not aware.
The tree with which they tied Hanuman, it's right here. People don't know about that. So there is hardly, we are not really promoting. For example, okay, whatever the hotels are doing per se, from their own effort, whether, their brand website are doing XYZ or they're trying with the, wedding.
The last good thing to happen to Amritsar was the Heritage Walk.
Yeah, but then it's completely underutilized.
It's completely.
That's the sad one. Completely underutilized.
They've left it to the people to figure out what they have to do.
Yeah, and that's not a good story to tell. So I think that's something. But I think the efforts, the hoteliers are definitely there. We have seen over this market has really grown in Amritsar, and destination weddings have started in the past. I think for past 4 to 5 years, this trend has come in. And like you said, if the government doesn't do it, they have to do roadshows. If you look at Punjab, tourism, they don't do roadshows. Now, for the sake of everybody here, Sindhi community is something that believes in Guru Nanak, and they also believe in
Oh, yes.
So now there is a huge Sindhi community sitting in Bombay. There is a huge Sindhi community sitting in Dubai.
Yeah, all over the world.
Markets are absolutely important markets. Now, government should be doing it because, and again, coming back to my point when I said, infrastructure in terms of connectivity is a big problem. This city used to be connected to UK. It used to be connected to Canada. It used to be connected to Singapore. We need to connect Indian diaspora that is living, Canada, UK, Germany, Italy, Australia. They all come back for their weddings. They want to have their weddings back in India. They want to be in Amritsar to have, because every wedding internationally, the Indian diaspora from this origin, they cannot be not having a wedding and coming to Golden Temple. So that is the kind of potential, and the challenges remain very same. Infrastructure is the biggest one. Connectivity is the second. The ease of doing things is the third. And fourth one, that in Punjab per se, we are not utilizing our heritage in terms of forts and the old kind of heritage buildings that we have, the way Rajasthan has done it. We have completely not utilized. We have some brilliant ones.
I am completely with you on this, JP. You know, the lesser we say about what has not happened, the less hurt we will be. Thanks,
so
JP.
Those are the realities of the business today, you see.
You know,
and that is what needs to be overcome for it to become
something that you being there for 13 years and being on CII and FICCI need to do a concerted pushback to the government.
Yeah, we are doing our best, trust me.
And then what we can do best is Jako Rake Saiya Maar Sake Na Koi. Hopefully the government will listen someday and do something. Or maybe somebody else will come.
And again, I must tell you this, Kshitij Java was with me, when we had gone to visit this tourism summit. Even KP was there. I remember meeting him there. And, these guys, whether it was Vijay Arora from Touchwood, very big guys who do celebrity weddings and who do these Bollywood actors and actresses across the world. And you talk about Pradeep Tyagarajan from Wedding Sutra. They were all there, and we're having a discussion on the same thing, that why Amritsar cannot be one of the best destinations for weddings. Although everybody agrees, but all these challenges that we spoke about were a part of that discussion. And again,
who's spoke about, the local infrastructure has to be there. Why do you need a Vizcraft to come and organize something?
Exactly my point.
All right. Thanks, JP. I'll walk across to your namesake, KP. From JP to KP. KP, tell me, I can barely hold myself from speaking to you guys in Punjabi, but let me get on with my Angrezi Bhasha. Tell me about cultural tourism. How do we harness the cultural richness of the region to attract tourists and create unique guest experiences?
Okay, there are two parts to the question. I think so. Most of the panelists have drawn this point, and JP has just mentioned some of it. I think so. Everybody once travels to a destination has a very preconceived idea or a plan as to what they're going to do during the stay. Depending upon the duration of the stay is for a night or for 2 nights and so on and so forth. In Amritsar, there is so much to explore other than what Kshitij was saying, Sarson ka saag and makkei ki roti or Bhangra itself. There are several museums to explore.
Oh, yes.
There is a local by area which is called Jandiala, where is beautiful brassware, which is handcrafted. Fulkari is synonymous to Amritsar, and so on and so forth. So our drive in the team, including myself, we try to understand what is the agenda of the guest for how many nights they're going to come and stay with us. And not only the brand or what its one core focus is. In general, we are in Amritsar, and Amritsar is Seva, right?
Ooh.
That's how the initial part of service and our core starts with. So we genuinely try to connect with MICE groups, wedding groups, FITs, try to understand from the very beginning what time of the year they're planning here, where they're heading, what is there something they want. For the NRIs, some of us have actually earlier mentioned a lot of NRIs coming because they have the mindset, we got to take our kids to Golden Temple, we got to take our kids to a certain temple, and so on and so forth. So I think so it's very important to understand as a hotel, as a unit, as the head of the hotel, along with your teams, what has the city got to offer you? And you got to experience this thing on your own. You also got to experience how much time does it take, because based on that, you can give a genuine interest to the client. And it's very, very crucial to understand the city in itself. Now, adding to the luxury part of it, I heard most of us talking about Kshitij mentioned on his definition of luxury, Hyatt-centric's definition of luxury, and so on and so forth in Chandigarh side or Mohali side. I will draw luxury to simplicity today. The clientele, what we handle, specifically in Amritsar, are globetrotters. It's no longer left what grade of chicken you're feeding them or what sort of fish. It's getting the basics right. If you get the basics right, luxury is delivered at its best. Again, with all the challenges, what we all face in our surroundings, in the cities or the states where we operate, end of the day, I am glad we are a generation of hoteliers who come from having the basics right. And and developing our teams in terms of how much engagement you need to have on the ground. So that's what I perceive. So culture in a place like Amritsar plays a very important role in the total travel plans of a customer. And we should not have thoughts, oh, it's Amritsar luxury. No, luxury can be delivered at its best to locations where customers could be taken to sit down in a farm and have the fresh produce. So you're creating experiences for them, right?
True.
Several guests would have never ridden a tractor in their lives, including myself.
Yes.
I had to ride the tractor a few times myself, not really driving, but sitting on the side to get to feel the vibration, what you get in. So you are able to explain what experience you're going to go through, because you're probably going to have about a liter of charge or lassi after that, the way it drains out the energy out. So these are small experiences.
KP, my worry is also, I'm a regular to the Golden Temple. So my worry is we people at best spend one night in Amritsar.
Yeah. Right.
That for me, JP, KP, and everybody who's from Amritsar, Naveen and Puneet, is a worry. If people are going to come in for a night, right, they are only going to the Golden Temple and going back.
Right.
How do we do a longer stay?
I think so. In my tenure of, I've been here good for 1.5 years old, but only 6 months in working. I see the duration of the stay is over 2 nights for the 5-star category properties. And having spoken to some of the panelists who are here today, have known them before.
Yeah, मैं भी 5-star category वाला हूँ, but मैं एक रात लेके वापस आ जाता हूँ.
Again, depending upon the segment you are handling, right? We again look into a lot of families. Even the MICE groups which are coming in, they are bringing in families. One day is a very difficult, unless you have been to Amritsar several times. Probably one day is enough. But if you're coming, and that's what we try to go into details to the MICE, to the wedding groups,
and make a complete package. Have Golden Temple, have
absolutely,
Durgana, have the Heritage Walk, have Vaga,
yes,
and you've got a good thing going. Thanks a pile, KP.
Pleasure.
You've been very good. Good to have your response, Naveen. Very quickly to you, though JP and everybody spoken about the airport and infrastructure. Tell me what kind of impact of these upcoming airports, roads, and rail networks do they have on hospitality dynamics?
Yeah, well, Mr. Khanna, there is a saying in the retail industry that location is king, in retail. And I'm sure location is important in the hotel sector as well. But I think equally important is connectivity. How do people reach the destination that you are in? So unlike a lot of other luxury industries where you are going to go to their showrooms or their shops, you're going to buy that luxury product, take it home with you, right? It can be clothes, it can be shoes, sneakers, cars, bikes, whatever, right? But you are ultimately going to take those products home and then use them over the next few months or years. We as service providers are immobile. Our services, apart from the fact that we have started using the online channels to deliver food to your home now, but apart from that, if you need to stay in my rooms, you have to come to where my hotel is. I cannot come to your destination for that. So yeah, connectivity is key, whether it is, via railroad or airports. Mr. JP Sowell was just mentioning about, how weddings and MICE, we are not really able to get the entire, leverage it properly because we don't have a lot of flights coming in. Mr. Ashwini Kumar was talking about the same for Chandigarh as well. So I think, yes, there has been some improvement of late. I've been here for about 8 months now. I moved to Amritsar in April this year. And I have seen that, Malaysian of late has started a new airline, a new flight linking Kuala Lumpur from Amritsar. And then there are a few which go to Milan and Toronto, and there is a one to London, I believe. But having said so, as some of our colleagues were discussing in the past, that the Punjabis especially, we have a lot of NRIs in US, UK, Canada, Amritsar, and we get
All
a
over.
lot of them. Yeah, all over. And we get a lot of them back. A lot of our clients have been coming to us for the last 10 years, because they come every year. They literally come every year. They go to the Golden Temple. They meet their families. They have relatives here. They have friends here.
It's an annual pilgrimage, actually.
It is. And going back to the wedding point that Mr. Sohal was talking about, we recently did a Sindhi wedding. This point was brought up. We recently did a Sindhi wedding in the month of November. The family was from Bombay. It was supposed to be a much more lavish affair. They ultimately curtailed it because there were only 2 flights from Bombay at that time.
Oh,
Operating into Amritsar. And there have been multiple times where, my team has received group queries or wedding queries from Calcutta, Gujarat. I think Calcutta has one direct flight now, but that's not good enough for a MICE or a big group, right? I mean, if you're talking about a wedding, it's anywhere from 250 to 300, 350 people who want to come and stay at your hotel or, who want to visit the city of Amritsar. And if you have one flight operational, most of these flights are the A320s. They have 180 seats, right? So, between the transient and other demand. So connectivity, it's a challenge. It's improving for sure. I think the airport here is becoming, is going the privatization way. I think the airport authority is now giving it over to a private company to handle. So, we're looking forward to that. I'm sure if a private operator comes in, they will, really improve the facilities at the airport. They'll make sure more airlines start operating from here. We already have a couple of Shatabdis operating here. I'm sure a couple of more trains, especially from Delhi. Delhi is the key area, the NCR area.
Vande Bharat.
Yeah, I'm sure a couple of Vande Bharats won't hurt us,
Yes.
Yeah. And
thank you so much, Naveen. Naveen, you made some very interesting observations. Of course, it's only when we talk to you people, we realize the various dynamics. The Sindhis from Mumbai or elsewhere, if there is just one flight, how are they going to service the needs of the industry, right? From a wedding standpoint or anything, or maybe Calcutta or somewhere. So yes, this connectivity has to improve. Thanks a pile, Naveen. Much appreciate. Grateful. Let me just walk across to Puneet. Puneet, taking cue from what JP has said, KP has also spoken about the diaspora, and Naveen just spoke about the flights. Tell me about the NRI attraction, and if you can tap into the vast opportunity presented by the NRI Indian diaspora, a key market for luxury hospitality. Look, Naveen was just speaking about it, and KP also. Most Punjabis that I know who live the world over, for them, coming to Amritsar once a year is a must.
True.
Right? So therein lies an opportunity when the whole family comes, right? Let's not look at just from our selfish interest, but let's give back to them. You see, we people don't value our country as much as the ones who live outside do.
So to start with, NRIs play a major percentile of tourism in Amritsar. Yeah. And of course, we need to increase the number of direct flights, which I will not much more emphasize on because it's already been said and done. The only thing which I would like to say is that we have, as you yourself said, that you visit Amritsar only for a day. Yeah. Which means you came to Amritsar only for Golden Temple. The only thing we need to do is we need to build nice packages, and we need to now include Kartarpur Sahib as well, which will definitely increase one more night in any of the stays. So all those people who are coming from abroad to visit Golden Temple, if the Kartarpur Sahib,
but दिक्कत ये है Kartarpur Sahib अंदर जाने के लिए परमिशन सबको नहीं मिलती ना?
नहीं, बट अगर हम उसको अपना अट्रैक्टिव पैकेज में करके present करेंगे ना, and along with the government itself, because it is not only the hotels and it is not only the brands which promote, because we anyhow promote the entire Amritsar, the heritage city and everything. The push needs to come from the government side as well.
ठीक है.
Yeah. Okay. So the attraction will increase. We get the NRIs in our hotel, and most of them are repeat clientele. Most of them. So attract new NRI clientele as well. We need to build nice, attractive packages, which includes your Atari Wagah border as well. Because one night means Golden Temple, 2 nights means it is Golden Temple and your.
And if you're going to the Atari Wagah border, you anyway can't go back the same night.
That's why it becomes 2 nights then.
Yeah.
It becomes 2 nights, 1 day or whatsoever. And not only the flights, to attract more of the clientele, of course, we need to have more of the trains as well. Like you said, the Vande Bharat. So it decreases down the time also.
There are times when I cross the border, I can't board the flight the same evening.
No, you can't.
Right. So I have to either take and train you don't get. So I have to either take a cab or something, or wait the next morning, take a flight.
Yes. And secondly, if you see Punjab as a state, it is only Amritsar, barring Chandigarh. It is only Amritsar which has an international airport. Nobody else has. So people visiting Jalandhar, Ludhiana, so they require some.
यार क्यों दिल्ली आने चाहिए लोग? वो सारे अमृतसर और चंडीगढ़ से उड़ो.
Chandigarh is still, if you see Amritsar, Chandigarh is 4 hours away from Amritsar. So you have to drive 4 hours to take an international flight. So some infrastructure has to be there from the government side as well. This is what this might take to get more NRIs attracted towards this pilgrimage place.
Thank you so much, Puneet. Let me now just go across to Chandigarh. We just spoke about Chandigarh. And back to you, Ashwini. If you can please help me explore some creative approaches for luxury hotels to deliver cutting-edge guest experiences characterized by authentic hospitality from the heart.
Well, to me, the hospitality comes from the heart. We are getting very modernized. We are getting a lot of now innovation in terms of automation. We have systems, and but I don't think these systems can take the place of human touch. Human touch will remain the most fundamental factor in our part of the industry. You go to US is very different. There is process driven, but here it is people driven. So you have to come up something for the customer. It doesn't have to be complicated. It has to be simple, which appeals to the customer. I'll give you an example. We have one guest, he's 78 years old, Manchanda family, used to live in Bombay, sold their all business and all. Now they're living in Ludhiana. And they have some relatives all over the world. So the lady had 80th birthday. So we got very friendly. They come here, they're alone 2-3 times, every 3 months. And they get very familiar with the team. So when they were coming this time, we were told that this lady's 80th birthday. So I said, okay, what are we going to do? So we always look after, meet her at the receptions. We got the team right in the lobby, both the sides with rose petal when they came, arrived, and we welcomed them with the...
you made it special for them.
Yeah, and took them to their room. So now we understood that they were religious also. So when we took them to the room, I sat down with them, and they have their daughter from US and one from London, and they're all sitting. After 10 minutes, the Granthi walks in. So we arrange a Granthi from the Gurdwara.
Oh, very nice.
And he comes there, he meets them, and he does the ardas. They just could not believe it. They had tears in their eyes, and their daughter who was 50 years old, she said, I'm going to come next year, it's my 50th birthday, and I'm going to do my birthday here. And I need 30 room, 40 room. So these small things makes a difference. Another example was we all get group business, MICE business. So I worked pretty long in this industry. I never did a group check-in at the reception. Anything more than 10 rooms, no matter which corner of the hotel I'll find, but I'll do a totally different experience for the group. You have a tea, coffee, or lassi, or whatever you want to give, they are out. And secondly, my thing is that their luggage has to be in the room before the group goes in. Whether it's a 300 room, 400 room, KP had seen me in Dubai. That was our specialty. We were known for that. So when I came new to Chandigarh, I said, how? We got first time MICE group from Pune, big tech company, and they were very worried. And the organizer was very, very well traveled the world. I said, don't worry, we will do something very special. So we approached the Chandigarh airport authorities. I said, I want a desk at the airport. I want to do the group check-in at the airport. I'll take my keys, I'll take my team. The people, when they're getting their luggage out, I'll give them a keys, the luggage will be tagged and loaded, and I want to do it here. So it took a long time to convince. I said, it's good for the city also.
True.
We'll put it in the social media now. So it was difficult negotiation with the gentleman. We had to pay 25,000 to put this table also. And with a lot of hassles, bureaucratic, table, you bring your own table. I have to bring table from the hotel. They didn't even give me table. So it
shows the myopia of the authorities.
I know. So it was so frustrating. But it took my team from 10 to 6 in the evening. I was personally there with my team. Within 3 people came on the flight. They were all met. Keys given. Luggage was tagged. That guy who's in the business 30 years, he said he has never seen something like that. So small things.
And it's possible to do it in small cities, by the way.
You can do in the big cities also. We used to do in the buses in Dubai.
No, Dubai ko chhod do aap. Aap ki baat karo.
You can do anywhere if you want to do it. That's the creativity you have to have.
And also, Ashwini, this doesn't cost too much.
No.
Not in terms of money, not in terms of efforts. All right. If we have to screw it up, we have to make an effort. Now the Manchanda family got their daughter back for her 50th anniversary. Yeah. Now look at this crowd. So all these small gestures of going a little out of your skin and doing it actually makes the entire thing so strong, the bond stronger, and it makes it sticky.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I'm so happy I asked you this question. This was the penultimate question of the season. Thank you so much, Mr. Ashwini. Grateful and a wonderful response. Kshitij, are you aware that you're creating some kind of a record? You'll be answering the last question of the entire season. All right. So tell me, let's talk about the GM's vision. You're a young general manager, right? Tell me a general manager's visionary approaches to overcome challenges and propel luxury hospitality forward. What would they be?
So I think I have worked with few of the senior general managers over here, like Mr. Ashwini Kumar, Mr. JP Sohal, and in my opinion, as a general manager, I feel that the role goes beyond. In today's world, the role goes beyond managing just day-to-day operations. It basically involves crafting a vision for the entire hotel and probably for the industry moving forward. We have a lot of tangents which a general manager usually handles. It is a guest is the most important tangent, then it is stakeholders. As we know earlier, we have fewer hotels, and most of them are owned. And now we are managing assets, and we have to manage owners. And ownership management is a very, very key point for every general manager's success and for the hotel success moving forward. The second thing I would say is adaptability and innovation. We have to think out of the box, or probably at times think in the box. There was an approach wherein everyone used to ask me to think out of the box, and then I realized that there are times when we don't think in the box. We leave the box and we go out somewhere. We have to start looking inside the box and keep on adapting ourselves to changing scenarios. Be a little innovative. And I absolutely, second the thought of Mr. Kumar that people's touch is very important. In the market we are thriving today, especially in Punjab and Chandigarh, I feel this is the most relationship-driven market I have worked in. I've worked across the country in different states, and this is one market where till today, it's been 3 years that my hotel, it would be 3 years very soon that my hotel would be in operations. I still sit down for a wedding closure at my hotel, and the parents or the group, bride and groom, still expect me and my director of sales and marketing to be sitting or to be standing next to them till the Sajjan Kot. So that is the love and affection which the guest of Tri-City or guest of Punjab require. Because as we say that, it's a very wholehearted city. Everyone gives completely from the heart. The second thing I would mention is staff empowerment. We have been talking a lot about, how people are going to be attracted towards our industry, how we are going to sustain. In today's world, it's very important that we give a space to everyone who works with us. We are not putting any kind of foundations. We let people do what they feel best. Yes, of course, being general managers, we need to guide them towards the vision, but set the vision and let them do and let them play their game, because they'll be better. And probably they will end up teaching us something. And it should be a collective effort rather than being a very, very autocratic approach that, I have told you this, you should do this. So staff empowerment. Third is community engagement. Being in Punjab and Chandigarh, I feel it is very important that we stay connected with the community, whether it is not only for the CSR activities, but also to understand various parallel industries which work with us, how we can benefit from each other. I'll give you a very small example. Recently, or probably the first example of this hotel, we have ISB. ISB is the Indian School of Business, which is next to us. And we were very new in the market. We had no business. We were opening up and, didn't know. First Radisson Red opening, new brand. So we happened to have a cup of coffee at ISB, and it was just over a conversation that we told them that, the hotel is going to come up and you may want to come and visit. And we were able to get a piece of business from them, which was my first piece of business at this hotel. And since then, we have had an excellent relationship, and we have been engaging with them. We do some activities at their campus. They invite us. I have taken my entire hotel staff and team to visit the ISB campus because it's really beautiful. And the team of ISB has come and visited my hotel. So these are amalgamations which are very important in today's world for a GM to see. And last but not the least, I'm just going to take another 30 seconds, is the local authorities. It's very, very critical to build a GM's vision that you have to keep the local authorities, especially when we are operating in a country like India, that the local authorities is something which has to be handled very carefully and has to be kept apprised of the, achievements or things which you wish to do for your hotel and for the industry itself.
Thanks, Apil. That sums up the show extremely well. Thank you, gentlemen. Don't log out. I'd like to close the show, the season, and it's been a wonderful show. I'm happy I was able to do this show with you. I can't ask for better general managers to do a show on Punjab and Chandigarh. Punjab is very dear to me. I am a Punjabi, not Punjab born. I'm a Delhi Punjabi, but Punjab is very dear to me. And I think we have to do a lot more for this wonderful state, right? We have to give back to this state. This state has given so much to our country and to the world in terms of talent, in terms of spirituality, in terms of food, gali galoch, everything, right? So it's time we hold our hand up and be counted. So if I was to conclude this episode, right, this unveils the myriad dimensions of operating luxury hotels in Punjab and Chandigarh, from tackling operational intricacies to leveraging cultural richness. Our discussion showcases the innovative spirit required to thrive in this vibrant landscape. Thank you for joining us as we navigated this show for the path of excellence in luxury hospitality. Thank you, gentlemen. Also, a bit on the series. 2021-22, we did 20 shows. This year, we've done 36 shows with over 200 general managers and some of the finest talent this industry has. And seeing this talent, you feel happy that these responsible hands hold the weight of this industry as it finds its way from the past to the present and into the future. But I am extremely worried that is the supply line of talent keeping pace with the pipeline of development projects that we have, with the number of hotels that we are opening. Look, the Indian hospitality industry is so good that overseas opportunities are aplenty because general managers from India or hospitality talent is easy picking for them. But that doesn't leave us in a very good shape over here. So let us do our best to take care of this industry. This industry has done so much for us. Now it needs to deliver for the country, right? Because inbound tourism is going to begin very soon. Thank you all. I also want to thank Team BW. You've done 36 shows. Not very easy putting a single show together. Imagine putting 36 shows together, doing all the topics, all the talking points, and picking all the stars to make their presence felt and do their prodding for the cause of the industry. Thank you, BW. And a word on Diversey. Yeah, thank you. Diversey, you've been a wonderful partner, all 36 shows. We look forward to seeing you back next year. Thank you, Brijesh Rathore, Anil, Komal. You've been great partners. I owe you a lot. Look forward and thank you for holding my hand, holding our hand. And as we waited through 36 shows over 6 months, I shall now be a free bird. I don't know what to do with my slot of 4 to 5 p.m. on Thursday and Friday. I guess I'll spend time with my dogs. And then once my break is over, with my colleagues. Thank you all. Amritsar is extremely dear to me. I'm delighted and so blessed that I was able to end the season from Amritsar. JP messaged me back, Puneet messaged me that he's on. In fact, JP had not read his message. And he said, "Main te hega ji tod naal. Tusi kiਵੇਂ ਸਮਝ ਲਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਵਾਂਗਾ." Then I spoke to KP, Kshitij happened, Naveen happened. And ਉਹ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ, ਜੋ ਸਤਗੁਰ ਨੇ ਚਾਹਿਆ ਉਹ ਹੱਥ ਫੜੀ ਗਿਆ, ਕਾਰਵਾਂ ਵਧੀ ਗਿਆ. Right? So I'm grateful to you. With this, I end the show. Let me begin by thanking Ashwini. Ashwini, thank you for coming in. You make this show special. My first one with you. You presented a great case for your city, brand, and hotel. Kshitij, thank you so much. You're the youngest one and who took the last question. Puneet, thank you. You flew in and were in time. Thank you so much. Naveen, ever grateful to you. Thank you. Brilliant responses. KP, good to know you. And thank you so much for your responses. JP, you're special. All right. Thank you for being there. Thank you for putting such a valuable response. I'm going to I have a lot of takeaways from the show today. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for blessing us, for being there on our platform.